tome that I mentioned in my last video that I'd like to share with you today. As you can see, she's a hardback tome. She's in the style of Nik the Booksmith, so I'll put again Nik's links to Teachables and her channel, and many thanks again, Nik. I love making these books. She's quite big and chunky, as you can see. She measures 6 inches across by 9 3/8. She has a 2 1/4 inch spine, 5 signatures and just over 204 pages. She has bulldog clips to close, some lace, trims, altered paper clips, and as you can see from the front, she has some lace, some linen, some of the fabric that I've used here. This is nice tapestry fabric on the hardback, and she's titled Little Women because it's got loose references to Little Women throughout this book, but that's easy enough just to wiggle and pop out and change. There's a vintage button and a bit of sari ribbon there, some sari ribbon here, and I'll just show you the closure before we look at the book. So as you can see, bulldogs, I've made sure there's plenty of room for you to adjust it. As always, there's a little pearl, the little heart that says made with love, and then there's a little bee, a key, and at this side, butterfly. And I've kept the colours quite muted in this one because it's based around the Civil War, and I just felt the style, it suited the style, so she's not got a lot of bling, and there's more neutral colours. So if I open it up, there's lace edged front and back. This fabric's lovely, I really like it. So the first pocket, I'll just make sure I'm still in frame, up a bit, there we go. I've tried to put this ruler here so that I know that's where I've got to be. So the inside cover, I've covered this one with a really old vintage, it's an Irish linen tablecloth, table cover, and although she's been washed and washed plenty of times, she still has some fading because she is old, she's vintage, but I love the sewing, the embroidery that's on the, I hope you can see it on the tablecloth, so I've left it plain. I don't think it needs any embellishment. And I've made a linen pocket here with, and it's got some book pages to give it a bit more support, and I've put some lace on top, a little flower with a gem, and a piece of crochet trim. After me saying there was no gems, but there you go. So this is just a picture from the internet, and it's a genuine family from the Civil War era in America, and I liked it. I thought it was quite apt because it's a mother and her 4 daughters, just like the book. And then there's just a nice journaling card there, and I've just made a little booklet and it says cherish, and I've left that blank. Actually, it's got pockets in it. There's a pocket here. I might just slip something in it. There's a pocket. There's 2 top loading pockets and 2 side pockets in this one. So this is a franken page. As you can see, I've just sewn it together in the style of Nik the Booksmith. I really love how these pages turn out. Great way to use up your paper. It's all Tim Holtz paper. I've put just ruffled some ribbon, put lace trim here. And in the first section it's more family orientated. Some of the ephemera, you'll see what I mean as we go on. The inside page of the first signature, I've used a book plate from, this is my favourite version of Little Women that I have. I've had her for quite a while, she's a really old book. I can't even find the date for publishing, but she's starting to fall to bits, and that is actually the cover, that's actually from my book. I've used it as a cover here. Yeah, so all the letters and quotes that I've put in here are from the book. So that's the book plate, and she's on various trims, lace, metal embellishment, and some Tim Holtz paper. The sewing, round. That's some velvet trim, some lace. Papers have been coffee dyed, tea dyed, doily. Again, picture from the internet, and that's a genuine, it's one of the earliest pictures that I could find, and it's two sisters again from the same period in America, the 1860s. And it's on coffee dyed paper, and I've just put some trim there as a tuck. Edith Holden, altered paper clip, little charm, just a piece of Tim Holtz card as a corner tuck, and then an envelope, and I've just put some paper in there, and it just says memories. I've stamped for you to do your own thing. Probably shouldn't have airmail stamped on there, I might change the envelope actually. So that's a ledger, obviously. Some tracing paper that's been coffee dyed, and again I've just put some stitched music paper, a Tim Holtz piece of ephemera there, card or a die. Another piece of paper, tipped to a pocket, some trim, and one of these flip outs. I've just stitched around it and stamped a butterfly there. Lots of places to do your own writing and pictures. Some stenciling, stitched round, flips out, stenciling again, and on this side glassine bag, and I've done some stamping on there, and then just Tim Holtz I've used as a tag, and a piece of cotton, printed cotton there, I thought went nice. Some music, dictionary page, handmade paper, and this is a mother, again it's from the period in the 1860s, called the Old Sewing Machine, this print, and she's sitting by candlelight sewing. The sewing was obviously a huge part in a woman's life at that time for different reasons, obvious reasons. And that's a baked plum pudding recipe, again from that time. And it's just some more fabric, some lace, and a little pearl trim in the middle. Again, a bit of fabric, some sewing, centre of the signature. Another tuck spot with Tim Holtz, and I've just put a die cut paper, and this is a family plaque, it says family. And that's my favourite version of the film. So that's a black and white picture. I've just put it on to coffee dyed paper, stitched it. And I put the telegram there because she is reading, and I'm just taking it, she's reading a letter from the father who's away as a pastor at work. Handmade paper, that's the dictionary page, and then we have an altered paper clip, and I've done an altered envelope here. So this is in the style of AmityBloom. AmityBloom's got a great channel, I'll put a link below. She does do tutorials for these, but she also gives great advice on how to do them as well. So there's stamping and embossing. There's paper there, material, fabric, and I put a little key. Same on the other side, just different stampings, different papers, inks. I hope they show up because it's nice. And then inside, because it's the first one's really about the family, loosely, I've just printed off a nice piece of writing paper. And there's another recipe from that era. It's half a calf's head boiled. Ugh. But as you can see, it's from the American Home Cookbook, circa 1864. There's another one here for corn killer, 25 cents. German cologne. And insect powder boxes. So I thought that'd be a nice little collection just to pop in the envelope. I really love how these envelopes feel as well, the texture of them. I'll just pop that on with the paper clip. And I've just stamped some sewing implements at the bottom with a little button in the other side with some linen. and some paper stitched down. And then this just says with love, it's just a tag, that's from the Seven Gypsies. And on this side I've just put a nice little gem, some more sari ribbon, and I thought it just picked up the shades in the paper. Tracing paper, and then it's the first advert from Godey's Lady Book, which was the magazine or the book at the time, and it was aimed specifically at women. I think it was the first magazine to start to claim copyright rights in America, and it was widely criticised at the time. I know that Edgar Allan Poe actually had one of his first stories printed in this book, so there's lots of adverts from the book throughout. So that's the Frugal Housewife, the Complete Women Cookbook. And then I've just got a doilies, a tuck spot, some lace, some sari ribbon, some fabric, it's a ephemera advert, some lace again, vintage button, just some trim, and I think that's just I think this is a single one, yep. More stamping, some sewn on paper. And then this is one of Terry Wood's flip outs. So there's a nice little there's a nice little lace flower here, petal in the centre, and I've done some stamping there, it's sewn all around it, and then if you pull it out, and it's quite a heavy GSM piece of paper, this one, and it gives a really nice, it's a full-sized piece to journal on. Dim it out of the way. I used heavier paper just to give it a bit more stability, really, so that you could write more. And there's a pocket here, and in the pocket, when the father, who's obviously in the Civil War, is away, and the mother's called because he's getting pneumonia, so she goes to see him, the housekeeper writes a letter giving her an update on the girls. So I've copied it from the book, and I just thought that was a nice place to either put a picture or journal. That's the end of the first signature. And then the second signature, I've not gone in the order of the girls' ages, I've just taken it as a fancied, really. So this one's Jo, and I've got metal embellishments here and here. I don't know if you can pick them up against the fabric. Again, a franking page, Tim Holtz papers, some lace trim, Tim Holtz here, done a corner tuck, and another piece of ephemera, and there's a wee teeny weeny ticket there, and I've stamped on that as well, and there's another piece of just ephemera to write on. That goes behind, sorry. And then a larger piece, just lined paper, since Jo was the writer of the family. Some fabric again, and I've put a little charm, and it's a teeny weeny house, because Jo wanted everything to stay the same. She really didn't want any change in the family. It was all about home for her. So that's Edith Holden, and then music sheet I've folded over, made a pocket. And this is an article that was in the magazine that I talked about, the Godey's Ladies book, and it's funny. It's she's written a letter about why can't they cut their hair, and it's really funny to read, and it just gives an insight into how women, or what women had to cope with, how different it was, their life was, how they had to do this kind of article to be allowed to cut their hair. Gosh. And I've put this in this section because Jo obviously cuts her hair and sells it to help fund the mother's trip to see the father. There's some more material down here, and then I've put here the storyteller. I've just stamped that out because that was Jo. There's some lace, some book page, paper. There's a tuck here, just a tag with some stamping, and I've taken a page from the book Little Women, and then I've Mod Podged another piece of tea coffee paper on top so that you can write on top of it. Another piece of ephemera, some postal card, and another teeny flip out, and I've just put a flower and a little gem. I can't help myself with these gems, can I? So there's some stenciling here, another dictionary page, and I've picked the one that's got writer on it for Jo, and that's handmade paper, and I've just punched down there. And this is a picture, again from the 1960s, well it's a digital copy of a painting, and it's called The Reluctant Bride, and I just thought it was really appropriate because Jo was a reluctant bride and so was. And then on this side I've popped another pocket, some pearls, just another piece from the dictionary that I've stamped. I've put memories, a little flower, and just a nice slim tag that fits there. There's another little charm here, and it's a letter. That's an envelope actually. Tim Holtz paper, and on here, Jo always wants to go to Europe. That's her dream of going with the Aunt March to Europe. So that says Notre Dame. I've actually decoupaged a napkin. And again, it's Little Women. Again, paper on top so that you can do your own writing. And it tucks in here. This is just stamped, flips up. And I've got another pocket in here. I think I've just got the one, yep. So it's a pocket, and it's another one of these fold-outs. Nice and hidden. Nice place to write or keep something in there. And I just put believe definition on there. Some daisies, some lace trim. And that's on the tracing paper. And so if you wanted to put a picture or draw something on there, I thought it would be quite nice because you can obviously see it through the other side of the paper. Ledger page, another journaling card, some more stitching, butterfly, stamping. This page has been folded over and I've just die cut here, put some more big page lace and a flower, and it's a picture from the internet, and that's Jo up writing in her special place, her favourite place. Ledger paper, tracing paper. The other side of the Tim Holtz I've tucked over into a pocket and put some trim, and again another ticket fold out, moments to remember, and 3 little pearl buttons. A doily and a butterfly. You can tuck something in there. Let you see that. She is chunky, but there's things that you can take out and make it less so. And then I've done a bird. I just thought that looked nice on there. This is from Nik the Booksmith, one of her own digital kits. Really handy size as well. I like that. And then another pocket with some ribbon from the old vintage sheet music. And it's another hairstyle from the Age, again because Jo does cut her hair. There's an envelope here. And I've popped the letter that Jo writes to the mother when she's away. So that's the letter Jo writes, and that's a poem that she writes and sends to her mother with the letter. And there's plenty of space to journal at the back of both. That goes in there. There's a nice altered paper clip here. And in the other side of the pocket, there's just another, I think it's another advert. Plenty of room to journal. This is on parchment paper. And again, hairstyle. Edith Holden, red stitches. I do like red. And then this one, I think this is Kirsty. I think this is Kirsty's graphic. I'll have a look and I will put a link below again from where this pocket comes from. It says, "I shall not be lonely, no one who reads is ever that." Although Jo does have moments of loneliness that she has in the book. But I did think that was lovely and appropriate, and it's got the library card at the back. and then there's a tuck spot behind it, and I've just popped another plain tag in there. And then again lace trim, Tim Holtz paper. Sorry, that's the franking page. And then this one is on to the next signature, and this one's for Meg, the eldest sister. So we've got lace trim and advert hats and a nice little paper clip in the shape of the coat hanger. Edith Holden, sewing pages. So there's a pocket here, and I've got lace and crochet trim, punch the corners, and it flips down for a hidden spot to write. And in this one, I thought this was hysterical. This just was so funny. Again, it's a real picture from the internet, and it was taken in Paris in the 1800s, late 1800s, and it's just, look at the size of the hoops of the skirts. Anyway, I just liked that. I thought I'd pop that in there. And that's another recipe. Music, paper bag. Again, another way of dressing your hair. Small catalogue of fashion. And blouse pins. All ephemera adverts. Some more paper trim. I've put a garment pin, some lace. Just another, some more, just some lace. Put some of the handmade paper with some sari silk sewn down here, and I've made a flip so that you can put some writing here. I think you can see the copy's taken really well in the paper, this thicker paper, it's lovely. Dictionary page, tracing paper, a nice corner tuck, ladies' home companion from that time, and I've backed it, as you can see, onto some square paper. There's a nice photo mat to journal on, and a tag that I've left plain for your own use. Centre of the signature, another altered paper clip, another envelope with Meg's letter in there, and that's the letter that she's written, and I thought I would put it in that nice coloured paper. Since Meg tries so hard to be the lady and do everything right. Tracing paper, dictionary, a belly band with some, I put some ruffled ribbon under there and some lace, and it's just a little star with pearls, and then on coffee dyed paper stitched one of these cards I've used before, and there's also a little pocket in the front that I've done with some gold trim, and I've just put that at the bottom to hold it in place. And then on the other side I've just left it plain, and it's another book plate for the same magazine. And then here I've popped a glassine bag, done some stamping, there's some crochet trim at the bottom, and just a sturdy tag, ledger, bag. And then this painting, again from the time, the 1800s, it just made me think of Meg getting ready to go to the ball in the book at the beginning, so I popped that in there. Another altered paper clip and tag, and I've just made a linen pocket. There's a bit of a tuck spot at the back, but the main pocket's at the front, and it just says generous and true, and it's a card for you just to write something else on. With that paper clip there, Edith Holden, and then there's another large pocket here, and there's a pocket at the back, so that's a full-size pocket at the back, and then there's a pocket with the gold lace and the linen trim at the front, and I've just put another telegram here. And then this flips up on the back page again, That's a Tim Holtz die cut that I've put on some linen and some of the book pages. Again, it's a Terry Woods, a full flip out, again with thick paper. Folds down nicely, and then at the back, lo and behold, there's another advert. From a magazine, different one this time. And then this one, so I've taken some linen and I've just sewn the beads. I had some beads that I thought would look nice there. You pick up the red from the paper, so I've just sewn them along with the linen. Sewn some lace on the other side, some doilies, flips out, place to right, Edith Holden page, and then this is a smaller envelope, so there's some lace trim at the front and there's a tuck pocket here, and that's just a little journaling card. And then inside, I think it's soap, yeah, it's an advert for soap, just a place to write, to put a picture, and I've left the blank plain. And I've left this plain in case you wanted to do something else, and I didn't want it too fancy in the book. So I've put a Tim Holtz piece of ephemera here, so there is a tuck at the front, and a little flower, some fabric. So that's again another advert for the Time for Cologne, of the Time for Cologne, sorry, in Paris, because Amy's the one that does go to Paris, she does go to Europe, so that's a postcard. Again, a flip up, an altered paper clip. Camera just died again, so hopefully this is going to keep going. So we've got an envelope, piece of ephemera. I think I'll move a bit faster in case this dies completely. And there's just a nice elocution. Thought that was apt for Amy. Centre of the signature. Tracing paper, dictionary. Another copy of a picture from the Time. I thought looked nice there. Paper bag. Be a lady, it's just a quote I thought for Amy. And then that's the letter that Amy writes to the mother when she's visiting the father. Some lace. The other side of the pocket, and we have another little postcard metal embellishment, and it says I love you. A little envelope, and there's a little flip banner to write. Plain on that side for your own thing, and then inside, oops, a daisy. Inside I just did a little one of these flip outs, and I have sewn some paper, made a little booklet. So that goes in there, and that one goes in there. A wine list, used as a tuck spot. Another piece of old ephemera, thought you could journal in there. Sewing. Vintage button on some linen, and there's a little piece of satin on top, and again it's a Terry Wood flip out. And in the back of this one there's a journaling's card, and I've just stamped at the bottom, and another large one there, and I've just put some gold trim. And then the last one, so there's Beth is the last sister obviously, so there's the green sari ribbon that I used in the front embellishment. There's an old vintage button here, some lace trim, and some lace, so there's lace and a bit of trim. Tim Holtz paper, a metal embellishment with some ribbon and a piece of linen, and then there's a little There's a tag and at the bottom it says little things, and I've just put a ruffle of paper, linen and a little pearl doily. I've stamped the bird cage here, thinking of Beth. She used to spend so much time at the end at the window watching the birds. That's two sisters, again from the 1860s, that I thought just would look good there. And that's little Beth, that's her letter to her mother when she's away visiting the father. Music, a little envelope secured with a wooden button, and it's just got a teeny journaling card on there. Thought that was cute. And on the other side I've just done a tag with some lace, some pearl, and I've put "She Could Believe" on this one. Oops. And Beth loved playing the piano, so her dictionary page says piano. Ledger paper, Tim Holtz paper, and I've just used a wage envelope here. So I've made a pocket at the back. I decoupaged a napkin on top, so there's some lace trim, some lace underneath that too, and then there's some of the sari ribbon, but it's a bluer, more of a blue than a green. And then the butterfly star upon star, I just thought for Beth, I liked that. And a little remember opens up just for some notes. And then I thought I had actually, yep, I just put a piece of index card in there for you to write a note. And then that just holds down, and I've just used another paper clip just to give you a spare one with some blue. And then this one, I've put the birthday, Tim Holtz paper, a button, some lace, fabric, because of course Pip dies in the book, the little bird that she watches from the window. Some butterfly, glassine bag, and I've stamped home with butterflies. Another Tim Holtz tag. I've cut a piece of paper and made it a tag. Paper made it a tag, tuck spot behind, and I've just popped another journaling spot there, card. And then this one, this is belladonna, the plant. So I've just stuck and sewn around it, and I've put belladonna, the definition from dictionary, because that was a treatment for scarlet fever that Beth eventually dies from complications of. So I didn't want to get morbid, but I just thought that looked quite nice there as well. Oops, I've just lost a clip, I'll find that in a minute. Dictionary page, and then this one's just an altered paper clip, and it says "Don't forget to fly." And I've just attached a Project Life card that I thought the colours went nicely. And then this pocket I've left plain for your own embellishments. And it's another large sheet advertising, bag, journaling card. And there's a tag, and I've just stamped some birds across there for Beth. And then the last page I've made a pocket, some lace obviously, and I think that's it. I'm just double checking, I can never remember what I put in. And it's Spring Flowers instructed it's piano music. And the Stars Alone Can Tell, piece of piano music for Beth. And I will probably take another picture because that's going to annoy me. I'm a bit OCD, and I've really tried to leave that alone and leave it blank, and I just can't. When I look at it, I just can't do it. So I'm going to embellish that, and I'll take a picture and I'll put it at the end of the video. And then that's the last page. I've just put some sari ribbon across, it's a franking page. And then at the back I've sewn a linen pocket. I've used a different table cover or tablecloth, whatever you want to call it. This one's vintage again, and I love the lace here. And I've put, you can just see it says Little Women underneath, because I've taken a piece of a book page, another book, and I've just lined it underneath so that you can see the Little Women. Put some sari ribbon there, so I've stamped a tag here. Seven Gypsies, this book belongs to here, and this is Louise Alcott, the author, so she goes in behind. And then again, it's one of the earliest pictures that I could find, and it's a family during the Civil War, so I thought that would be nice to just pop in the back. And actually I'm going to stitch around that as well. So there'll be two pictures that I'll show you, that I'll add on to the end of this video. There'll be the pocket that I'm going to embellish, and I'm going to stitch around that because that's going to annoy me too. So that's it. I hope you like her. I've enjoyed making her. Hopefully I'll get the video out before tomorrow. Any comments, as always, are really appreciated, and thanks very much for watching. Take care.